I actually realized I normally sit on the left. So normally when we do the gay handshake, it's...
Come sit.
So today... No, it's chilled.
I guess.
I have to learn to do it both ways.
See, it's awkward when you do it this way.
We'll get used to it. Ambidextrous. I learned that from Ludacris.
But which album was that? That was Red Light.
You see, I'm ambidextrous. I slap ass with both hands. Like, ambidextrous. Then I went to look it up. It's like, it means you are functional with both hands or both. Your father, even though it's not Father's Day, could play soccer with both feet. Boza.
According to your mom, I was born left-handed, and she trained me right. So, one of the things when I started sprinting,
why do you look at the crew every time we're shooting? It doesn't make sense.
I love it.
But the people that are watching don't understand what you're looking at.
That. I love it.
You have to train yourself to look at the camera.
Why must I do it like that?
Are you not trying to become better?
Penal, you need to train yourself at. To not swearing and saying blacks are dumb. That's what you need to train.
Let me have a sweetie. One more handshake. I think like when you can afford like graphics. Or see, like when we do this, there's gonna like a go fire like, and then the whole thing will shake. Go to Amanje, we don't have budget, so we have to make our own.
These AI little testicles that are going.
No, that's disgusting. So for now, we'll do our own.
Come on.
Sorry. Please learn to speak to the camera, bro. We're trying to be professional, and
No,
we don't have much time.
I want to engage with the crew and OC.
The crew doesn't give a fuck about you, bro.
They really love
OC is trying to look dope so that people can book
me,
him up to his fucking tits. And he's forced to get an entire team.
Oh, jeez.
Tooms is not here today. Tooms, why are you not here, bro? We love you and we miss you.
Ulele.
Shout out to OC and Tooms for
Shout out.
the work they do for us.
Anyway,
Amped.
I was born left. Then, according to Mams, I was trained to use my right. So when I started sprinting, you try and find your dominant leg, whatever the case is, so you can explode. And I found the way that I set up like a lefty. And I was like, it's all these things that umzimba, I guess you can only train to a point. I don't know.
That's your end of your TED Talk.
That's the end of my
Jeez, that was boring. Thank you.
It is what it is. And it does what it does.
Anyways, we've got topics, bro. Maybe please start with Eskom.
Did you greet?
Greet who?
The people that are...
One of the things I'm not sure of with the pen and pen is, do we want to speak to the audience? Do we want to speak to each other? Or do we want to speak to each other and an audience? So what that means is there's 3 of us.
Okay.
Instead of 2. So as we're chatting, we're like, yeah, but what do you think? I mean, this guy say, oh, is it just me and you where people are...
Your nails look amazing. Love his nails. Check his nails. Buff and shine, boy. Z-levels.
You're distracting me.
Soft life.
I'd like us to speak about Eskom
Listening.
first, and then the 2 other topics are a bit heavy, so I'm not sure which one we're going to start with. But I guess officially, while we still kind of find what we're trying to do, I'd like to greet everyone who watches the pen and pen. Guys, the comments that you guys give us, man, they make me so happy. I know people compare us to the Hodge twins. I haven't really seen them.
I love the Hodge twins.
I'm going to check them out. Thank you for that. I know there's comparisons with Andrew and Tristan Tate, who are probably like the most gangster brothers in the world right now.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it was Prince Harry and Prince William.
It was the Wayne's
Of course,
brothers.
you're Harry.
No, never.
But it's okay.
Never.
And then as much as they fictional characters, you've got like Huey and Riley Freeman.
Yeah.
So
And
I think those guys like give us...
You're the gay one.
I'm Huey, boy.
Yeah, you're the
I'll
gay,
take it all day.
lame one. I'll take Riley. Gangster.
Whatever
AKA
you say.
Horse choker, a.k.a. Check out them nails.
Anyways,
A.k.a. money stacks.
Riley's just a
AKA
fucking loser tit.
Ooh,
Fucking
the
trying to...
hate.
Anyways,
Offloaded.
shout out to Regina King.
Shout out.
People
Yeah, that's a
that
queen.
don't know, the Boondocks, the animated cartoon series, which is
Done by
mind-blowing.
Aaron
The
Kruger, yeah.
voices, it's created by Aaron McCruder, but the voices of Huey and Riley Freeman are done by a female actress, black actress called Regina King. You've probably seen her in other movies, but she did a fucking amazing job.
Amazing.
So yeah, man, thank you to all of you guys for the comments. Thank you for the support. I thought when we dropped the last episode around blackness, black people, and the struggles, I thought there was going to be a lot of negative feedback because it's an emotional topic, but it was actually quite constructive and quite positive. So we thank you. We hope that you guys can give us more feedback on how we can be better. Give us ideas of some of the topics you want us to speak about. Remember, at the end of the day, as much as you guys are watching us, we're just normal blokes from Newcastle and KZN, and we're trying to grow ourselves. We're on these personal development journeys, which we kind of understand are never ending. But we understand you guys on personal development journeys, and because we are a part of your life, you need to tell us what we need to discuss so that as much as we're growing, we're helping you grow as well. Personal health, fitness, working on your mind, how to be a better parent and father, how to navigate politics and money. And just, man, especially I think as a black South African man, a lot of black South African men feel like they're at the bottom of the food chain. And how can we motivate you guys to rise above? And tell you how when we were in dark times, we rose above because everyone goes through tough times. So I just want to greet you guys. I love you guys very much, man. Pen you well, the black pen.
Deep.
So I don't think you guys will see them, but I've got these really shiny nails. Yes, you can judge me. It's fine. Very, very gay.
It's very gay.
It is of the gay. I went to visit an amazing woman called Melanie. Melanie, yeah. Because when I got to her, I was like, Melanie. She's like, I'm not Melanie, I'm Melanie. Melanie Viljoen, Mel Viljoen, who is one of the stars of The Real Housewives of Pretoria. She is also one of the co-founders of Tammy Taylor South Africa. Heavyweight businesswoman. It's got an amazing story. I'm dropping that episode in the week of the 15th to the 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 15th and 19th of May. It's going to be dropping where me and her are having a chat about her journey, how she grew, how she moved from Limpopo to Pretoria, how she built business, etc. Really inspiring. Really, really inspiring. So because she's one of the co-founders of Tammy Taylor South Africa, at their head office in Pretoria, they have like a training academy. And she was like, you can't pass here and not do your nails at the very least because people are going to judge me. So my nails are on fleek.
Oh, snap.
Apparently it's not on fleek now. Now it's snatched. My nails are snatched.
Apparently Tammy Taylor...
The controversial side. I wanted to ask you, did you guys unpack the controversial side?
I'll tell you the story now. Does your voice pick up in post? Does it pick up? Okay, because I see Mangena wants to be part of the fucking orgy.
Oh, don't be sweet.
We're having a twosome. He wants it to be a threesome. It's so disgusting.
Don't be sweet.
This guy's taking my sweet collection. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It must please come back with interest. My endearment. Please, sir, may I have some more? So Melanie Viljoen told me that story and she insisted, look, my nails are snatched. They're on fleek. I don't know what it's called. Is it buffing? I know you do the self-care.
I do.
They buffed, they did the cuticles, they did the filing. Filing is sore. The cuticle stuff is sore. I didn't enjoy it, but I like that they're shiny. But anyways, it's not something that I would do generally, but obviously to honor a host, you do that. I only found out after I'd left that apparently, I think they were in carte blanche or somewhere where there was an issue about the franchise and the franchisees. And apparently there's some story. There was some story about how Tammy Taylor South Africa is no longer linked to Tammy Taylor in America. I haven't done the research, but I want that episode to drop. And after it's dropped, maybe I'll do a video. I probably won't. What I might do is I might invite her, because that was her platform, even though I'm posting it on my channel. But I want to invite her onto my platforms, and then I can ask her some of these things, because these become proper learnings. You know, one of the dope things we did speak about is this concept of she's a white Afrikaans lady. It's pretty, blonde. I think she has blue eyes, tall, model looking, like the struggle that they go through. Because we always assume if you're tall, slender, blonde, blue-eyed, white Afrikaans lady in South Africa, the world is yours and everyone makes life easy. But she was like, things are not as they seem. So anyways, the reason for my pretty nails is because it's shout out to Mel Viljoen. My nails were done by a lady called Trinity at Tammy Taylor SA. Yeah, man. So it was a dope experience, the conversation. But this is not for me. But to honor a host, you know, you do as the Romans do. So yeah.
Now I'm gonna say he's all mic'd up, ready.
Did you hear what I had to say about Tammy Taylor?
Yeah, I heard you coming down.
But anyways, I'm gonna sit down with Mel Viljoen soon, hopefully, and ask her some of those questions. So yeah. But guys, if you guys hear like a ghost gentleman, what's the opposite of a ghost lady?
Ghost
ladies and lasses, ladies and gents.
gentleman. Ghost
If you guys hear ghost gent, I think ghost gent sounds better.
A ghost ntanga. Ghost in Tanga. Ukespa.
A ghost top G.
If you guys hear Ghost Gent, it's Usia Mangena. I'm exposing him now early. So if you hear someone talking shit, please know.
It's him. It's him.
Sorry, anyways, Eskom.
Yeah. I got so emotional. So I'm very, very privileged. Let me just start it there. So I'm privileged in the sense Uguti, I've got a generator, I've got an inverter, but I'm not off the grid. So again, I rely on Eskom, and then when power goes off, then my inverter kicks in for the Wi-Fi, for the laptops, those type of basic things. But they don't cover the fridges and those type of things.
And those are the big electricity consumers.
Those are the big electricity consumers. When we need to cook, because I've got an electric stove, then I can switch on the generator, etc., etc. And where I stay, we were getting 12-hour blocks. Meaning, ugesi would go at 6 in the morning, and it's meant to come back, let's say, at 10 or half 10 at those, and then go again at 2, come back at, that stage 6 bullshit.
Sure. 4 hours, 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For us, it would go from 6 in, and it would come back at like 8 at night. And we just kept on doing that the whole time. And of course, they're going to blame is nyoga. Of course, they're going to blame faulty this. But no one seems to be fixing it. And it's happening time and time again. Guti, surely, if Guti, there's people who are going to vandalize or going to steal cables, that they know Guti load shedding is from, let's say, 6 to 10. They're already digging holes around the cables at 5 in the morning, waiting for 6 to hit so they can cut. This. Surely you must preempt this somehow. Like I'm lost in it. So I had to throw away about 600 rand worth of meat, because of this thing of it thaws out, it freezes, it thaws out, it freezes. After a while, it starts giving a bit of a smell.
Yeah.
And I've got one of those bad boy, lama fridge lawa.
Lawa selokishini okudayisa idrinki.
La yeqeda. Ba.
An ice lolly.
Yeah, bon. So
Geez, our community is growing international, so I know it's gonna come, and I apologize, but in time we will have subtitles. For now, when I remember, I'll try and translate some of the things that we say in isiZulu, Xhosa, Afrikaans, whatever vernac, indigenous languages we have in South Africa.
Okay, sorry.
So in Ice Lolly, we have these fridges in the townships that you lift, like our old school desks at school. You lift them like this. And the families that had those fridges normally had money, and they normally had shops. So they'd have like
I don't have a shop. I don't have money. So that's where I store a lot of meat. And it works during these small little load shedding, because it normally just freezes right through, and it stays for long. But when you start having these 12-hour, 16-hour, 24-hour, because with my main fridge, I can get to monitor and see it. But sometimes you neglect the freezer until a point where you go and you open it, you go, woof. There's a bit of a smell, nyana. And I'm just so emotional. And I'm like, we complain, but what is it that we're doing around this? Like, is there an end to this? What is the end goal? Or is it siya eweni and we complain eweni is a cliff? Are we going down this cliff and we're just going to bitch and moan till we fall off and die? What's your 2 cents?
This is such a loaded conversation, man. Would you like another sweetie?
Yes, please.
Excelsior, do you have a sweet there?
I don't eat sweets.
You don't eat sweets?
You don't eat sweets.
You're sweet enough.
Yes, sir.
Like Bricktop from Snatch.
No thanks, Turkish.
Would you like some sugar? No thanks, Turkish. I'm sweet enough. Would you like another sweetie?
I'd love another sweetie.
Stash Sam, yes? Finishing my stash. Bastard. Bastard! Agent! I've been getting quite involved with the political scene in South Africa. I've been meeting a lot of popular politicians in the last, I'll say on camera in the last year, but in my personal capacity, maybe in the last 3, 4, 5 years. And one of the things that blew my mind is how ignorant and stupid and incompetent a lot of these people are.
Sure.
I was never ready. It was quite sad for me. Politicians that have been serving in government since 1994 when Nelson Mandela was president. You'd assume with all their travels around the world, you'd assume with all the geniuses. They've bumped into all the consulting agencies. They've spoken to presentations, seminars, workshops, visiting countries and cities that are first world. There would be an influence. And it's almost like, wow, it's nothing has changed. These people are really stupid, and it's sad for me, especially because they're meant to be leading the country from a political perspective. With some of the people you sit with, you try and ask the obvious questions. What is the plan? If you are a Herman Mashaba at Action SA, if you are John Steenhuisen at the Democratic Alliance, if you are Musi Maimane at Build One South Africa, even if you're an independent like Duduzane Zuma, if you're running a civil organization like AfriForum, Soweto Parliament, what is your plan? What would you do for South Africa if you were in charge? What are you currently doing for the space you're in that you have influence in?
Yeah,
and
for your community.
The answers are tragic. When it comes to Eskom is not in isolation in South Africa. And, one of the things that has made America so amazing is their public relations, their PR and their marketing and their branding to the world is mind-blowing. People want to go to America because it's like as soon as you land there, you'll become a dollar billionaire, you'll bump into Hollywood celebrities, you will...
Chill with Kim
They
Kardashian.
actually do a really good job of hiding their poverty, their struggles. If you look at the stats of their mass shootings every single year, their rampant racism, how they exploit Latinos, Mexicans in particular, our version of Zimbabweans, Mozambicans, Malawians, because the blacks there are kind of like the blacks here. They're like, no, you will pay us what's fair. So then they exploit the Mexicans. But their PR machine is amazing. And I worry, obviously, when we speak about South Africa, and all that ever goes out is the horrible stuff.
Sure.
But the reality for South Africans and for people out there is our government is destroying the country. Whether it is intentional, by intentional I mean they're destroying it so that they can privatize and give their friends aspects of the country, because you kind of can't sell what is functional.
Yeah.
If we have state-owned enterprises that are making a lot of money, that are doing well, you can't sell that. Number one. Number two, if you're a politician, you can't have a personal stake in our public health.
Yeah.
You can't have a stake in our public schooling.
Sure.
The best you can get is like a tender. But if they want to be rich, it's like, I want to hand over our public health care to Mediclinic Discovery.
Yeah. Then I can own
Momentum.
a stake in that.
And then I can own a stake as a politician with the BEE credentials. Same thing with other aspects. Now, the South African Post Office is basically gone.
Yeah.
Our weapons manufacturing, Danel, is gone. We sold South African Airways for 51 Rand, which is a business story for another day. The South African Broadcasting Corporation, SABC, is bailed out almost every year. The one part is intentional. They're intentionally destroying this to sell it. The other part is unintentional, where they are actually, this part is probably scarier. Our government is trying their absolute best, but they are failing. Cyril Ramaphosa, new Deputy President Paul Mashatile, Didi Mabuza before, all the ministers, the new Minister of Electricity, Josienzo Ramokhopa, is trying. Guys, they are doing their absolute best, but they fucking useless. And here we are today. In speaking to politicians, I also speak to a lot of ordinary people. And I visit a lot of townships and squatter camps, informal settlements. I realize, and this is something that I have to keep highlighting, especially to us, the middle class, and to the rich. Yeah, but look, they're going to vote ANC again next year. Abu Karin. The poor black masses have no choice but to vote for the ANC. Why? It is because the ANC, after apartheid, gave them houses, RTP houses. They gave them grants. Today, half of the country is on one or other grant. The big ones are the child grant. Today, we've got the 350 Rand social relief for distress. There's the old age grant, impesheni, the pension. There's a veterans grant. There's a refugee grant for people that don't know. There's a disability grant. Close to 30 million of the 60 million South Africans are on a grant. So people are like, we got grants. Some of us got to study for free, whether it's NSFAS, whether it is the 67% of our no-fee schools in the country. And the bulk of those schools, the kids get to eat in the morning.
67%.
It's 2/3. if I'm not mistaken. I think it's
Yeah.
67.77, whatever. It's 2/3 of the country
Sure.
are no-fee schools. You don't have to pay school fees. The kids, they eat porridge in the morning. They have bread. They sometimes have rice and chicken. For some of these kids, it is the only real meal they have every day. If we grew up, we grew up in Matateni township in Newcastle, but we used to visit extended family in Popomeni, the township in Howick in the Midlands. My mother is from Ekvugeni township close to Ladysmith, and her sister, is from Kwahlati, which is around the same. We'd visit my late aunt Umbu Busisiwe Patience. She married Msinga. And if you look at the development from when I was young of no road to gravel road to dirt road to tarred roads, neighborhoods where I've seen street lights go up. Our grandmother, when I was growing up, had the bucket. We used to defecate in a bucket. And
Please explain the bucket system, because whenever I've explained it, and I'm explaining it to a lot of young black guys and women in their 20s, because when they think about the bucket system, they think of like a bucket that you put a mop in, and then you shit in that, and then you clean it up. I really think people don't understand what the bucket system is. Can you just break that down?
That's actually a great question, because you know when you grow up in a certain space, you take things for granted.
Yeah.
Like, come on, bro, you don't know the old fridge. Like,
Yeah.
no, I don't.
And this is middle class black kids that don't know what the bucket system is.
Yeah. So I'd like to think, I don't want to make this too long. we probably used to shit in the veld. We used to shit under trees as indigenous peoples, which is probably healthier. And even when people go camping, rich people, when they go camping, they do these things. And then at some point we came up with basic infrastructure to defecate, to shit. The long drop, very scary toilet where you dig a deep hole and everyone comes and shits on it. It's outside the house, you shit on it and it creates the cesspool, literally. And
to this day, my great aunt, our grandmother's sister, Esther's home still has a long drop.
Yeah.
To this day.
It's a very scary thing. It's a huge
visit,
hole.
When we visit today in 2023 and you want to take a shit, you go to the outside toilet and it's a long drop and you shit and you can hear it hitting the...
Like, I don't know how deep it is, like maybe 3 meters deep.
Yeah, it's deep.
It's something ridiculous.
Yeah.
And everyone comes and shits and pees and throws toilet paper. Well, we didn't have toilet paper, so we'd try and soften a telephone directory. Before we had Google and all these cool things, we'd have these books called telephone directory with the yellow pages, which was for business. And we'd take them and newspapers and we'd kind of...
Shugula.
We'd shuggle.
With shuggle.
I don't know if it's scrubbing these papers where we'd soften the paper so that we could
break
wipe
down
our asses.
yeah.
Apparently before that, Africans in South Africa would use maize cobs. Ikobe. Apparently. I don't know how that worked. They were long drops. Anyways, fast forward, the government of the day decided that rather let's have this system of buckets where they'd bring these thick rubber buckets to you. You'd have like a little toilet stand at the back, but there'd be this buckets. And
guys, the size of these buckets, I need to explain the size of these buckets. So these buckets were probably like a meter high bucket. Because I remember when I used to take a shit in those buckets, I used to struggle getting on the bucket to shit. Because
no,
that's
I
how
think you were
small I
young.
was.
The bucket
Yes.
wasn't that big.
No, but hear what I'm trying to say. Like, you think of, it's the height of a normal toilet.
It's
Okay,
not.
so
I think this guy was too young.
How big was the bucket?
The bucket was probably this tall.
That's a bucket, dog.
Sure, I'm saying it's not.
Okay,
Anyways,
maybe a meter.
you'd
A
have-
meter is
you'd-
exaggerated.
You'd have to go down. There would be some squatting, boy. That's why we're so fit.
Jesus, man, I used to struggle taking a shit.
You were young, bro. I understand. That's why even the long drop, when I think of it now, I'd always imagine monsters swimming at the bottom there, and that they might just come bite your ass. the toilet, the shit monster. But they did these rubber buckets, and my grandmother's adopted brother, Uboy, who's also passed on.
R.I.P.
Umalumboy, Cool Boy.
Cool boy.
He worked for a company that would come and collect, because you wouldn't shit. If there's a lot of you in the house, you'd be given a couple of buckets. So you'd shit, and when it's full, you'd go put it outside
and
then
you
you'd bring in a new
replace.
toilet, a new bucket. And then these people would come, I don't know if it was once a week.
It was weekly,
With
like refuse. It comes once a
yeah,
week.
like with picking up garbage. They'd come in with these shit trucks. Come and pick up the buckets, pour them into the whatever that tank, septic tank, I guess, and they'd give you like new buckets. That's the system we had.
But you know how I know that these things were big? Because I remember how they used to carry them. And they used to have like two guys used to stand and then they go, and then they on the shoulder.
It's because it was heavy. It was full of shit.
It was full. And I was like, yarr. And then they go and they dump them.
Yeah.
And then they get another bucket. And I'm like,
we're going on a tangent, man.
And the shit used to fill. And the shit used to fill up so much. Like, obviously, you're a kid, you can't replace it. So now you have to find a way because, like, the bucket is full of shit. Like, it's full of just feces.
Yeah, and it stinks. You can imagine. You know.
That was crazy, hey.
Shout out to Gaten McKenzie, man, Patriotic Alliance, for eradicating bucket toilets in the Karoo. You'd never think in 2022, 2023, we still have buckets. And again, it's because our current government has failed.
Yeah.
At national level, where it's most visible, but even at provincial, even at local. To be fully honest, you shouldn't have to worry about Cyril. You shouldn't have to worry about a minister. Yeah. Any issue you have should be sorted by your ward councillor and your mayor.
Yeah.
So there's a failure from there, but it's because we have this system where everything comes from the top down. So you'll go to your ward councillor, they'll say, we're waiting for local municipality. A local municipality will say, we're waiting for budget from the province. The province will say, well, we're waiting for Cyril and the cabinet to... It's a mess and it's heartbreaking. Just before I carry on, a small deviation. Those of you who study off-grid living, eco-friendly green living will know that there's this new toilet model of almost like a bucket system, but more like the trash bins that we use, the big ones with the flap, the really high ones. There are people that put those now in their homes, eco-friendly, and they shit and they put sawdust. And apparently you store that for a couple of months and it turns into really good manure and fertilizer. That's why it kind of made sense for us to shit in the veld back in the day, because it was kind of our way of giving back to nature. The whole idea of shitting into like a sewage system which works with chemicals and then has to dump that somewhere and destroys the planet, it's a conversation for another day. But anyways, our government has failed, bro. And one of the things that makes... Well, let me finish that point.
So essentially, my understanding is that the ANC government has created dependencies. Like, I'm about to become dependent. Like, I'm forced, I'm between a rock and a hard place because I need them for an RDP home. I need them for schooling. I need them for university. I need them for grants. I need them for hospitals. I need them for every part of my life. So I'm not going to vote any other party unless I'm guaranteed. It's like a chick dating a very rich guy who provides everything.
Yeah.
And the only way I'm willing to leave this guy, regardless of how abusive he is if I find another rich guy who can take over the responsibilities.
Yeah. So let me
It's
finish
dark.
my point. I think we need to shut this down because I know we can go on this one, we can go on for 2 hours.
Okay.
What I realized with the poor black masses, they'll keep voting for the ANC and some for the EFF because of the things that they get. They understand our government is shit. They know there's load shedding. They know there's potholes. They know things are not great, but no other political party is offering them a better alternative currently. Now, what happens from there is we're left with the upper middle class and the rich. And what I'm realizing is the people that are actually failing this country, our government, of course, that's clear as day. The poor masses will keep voting because when you promise children ice cream, they will always think you're the coolest thing on the planet. The people that are actually failing this country is the upper middle class and the rich, which is a small group of people. It's probably 5% of the country. Because those people have supposedly the education, we have some of the means, we have certain access to resources and people and networks locally and globally. And we, just like the poor, whine instead of getting involved in government, getting involved in coming up with solutions. And so what I've realized to date is that if this country is going to become better, if we're going to fix load shedding and Eskom and those things, it's going to take the upper middle class and the rich to come up with solutions. And the solutions are either going to be private solutions or they're going to be us infiltrating government and unfortunately fighting with idiots in government and fighting with very violent people that kill others in government to ensure that we deliver a good service. So it falls on people like me and you. The poor masses are not going to help
The upper
us.
middle class, from one thing that I've realized, is fucking piss scared. It's people that love whinging and moaning until you say, okay, fuck, you do it.
Yeah.
And they panic.
Yeah.
You know, especially because you said it's when you're dealing with people who are idiots or people who are willing to kill. You know, so you can have the best systems in your mind. You know, it's people that know how to swim theoretically. You know, so you go and you say, okay, sharp, you do it. Go to Philippi and go speak to the masses. They fucking shit themselves. So it's that thing which, as much as we should be the ones, I just don't think we've got the balls.
Which is fine, right? And if you don't have the balls, then you deserve what you get.
That's why they're getting squeezed most.
But when I say the upper middle class and the rich, I'm also not talking about all of them. Yes, I said
Okay.
5%, but
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
it's
even
5% of the 5% then.
even with the ANC when they set up and Otto John Langalbalele Dube and the boys, Abo Pixley, it was not all the uppity educated blacks. It was a group of them who grew some kahunas.
Okay.
You know, so it's going to require some of us, you know. Chris Papas, Ntlantla Lux, even though he gets criticized today, Bambiza ngo 10 past 4 because of the supposed bomb outside his home.
Yeah.
Tutuzane Zuma.
Yeah.
It's going to take some of us, unfortunately. Some of the young leaders in AfriForum, even though people judge me, there's an amazing gentleman I'm speaking to now, Joost, who's at Orania, who's the leader there. It's going to take some of us. So maybe let me close with this.
Before you close,
Sia.
I just want to ask, like you said on off air, right, that we should rather burn everything, right?
Me?
Your
no,
brother.
no, no, no.
Your brother.
The penning was pencil.
Ben.
I just want to know, does it have to be that radical?
No.
Don't answer. Let me finish my point.
Okay.
You'll answer Sia just now.
Good manje when Lomchita is also bringing isn't just Thabang offline, online.
It's kind of dodgy.
It's kind of dodgy. He's
Can't
that guy that
trust.
sends the screenshots.
It's on brand though.
It is on brand. Let me finish my point. We'll speak about this for long. We've already
Yeah.
gone for too long.
Sharp. Hadi.
For the average poor person, try and vote differently. Try and find politicians that serve in your community and vote for them. Independents, whether it's an independent candidate or an independent political party or other political parties that are doing work in your space. If you can afford it, please pay for electricity. I know a lot of people are illegally connected. Please pay. If you can't, I understand. And outside of that, just hope and pray, I guess. For the lower middle class, guys, pay your electricity bills, vote differently, be more vocal on social media. For the upper middle class and the rich, we have the privilege of generators, inverters, rechargeable lamps, mobile chargers, and all these other fancy gadgets. And now I see there are newer states that are coming up which are like load shedding proof, which is pretty dope. But the reality is we need to be the ones to find solutions that are going to be super cheap, if not close to free, for the rest of the country. Whether we're importing them from China or somewhere else, we need to find ways to infiltrate government. We need to expose government. And one of the other things I wanted to say is one of my other realizations. This is Batman in Gotham City. It takes a criminal to stop a criminal.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things a lot of us upper middle class educated. When we speak about balls, we're speaking about once you know in the taxi industry people kill, once you know in politics people kill, once you know in the tender space people kill, once you know people kill for land. If you want to get that back, if you want to compete in that space, if you want to win in that space, you are going to have to be able to do as bad as those people or worse. All our favorite superheroes in Marvel Comics are more dangerous than the villains they go up against. It's the reason why they defeat the villains. If they were equal or less dangerous than the villains, they will always get beaten. Yeah. So we need to have a criminal mindset to stop a criminal problem, is kind of what I wanted to say. I think I'll stop there for now.
Which aligns to Sia's question around burning. You know, so it's not me. Ooh.
Access sponsor sama sweetie.
How are you saying, Buffy?
Nina ingane nisebenza kula company. Ngikhuluma nani ngizokhuleka ngesiZulu. Niyathanda ukuzenza ama brand, what I work for this brand, you know our company. Hey baba. Sihleli ma podcasts, push ama views, ingane ezilana mfethu uzibona ama brand eni. Anisixhase ngama sweetie.
Naku, Theo, naku umuntu udla siphatho.
Shout out to Theo Baloyi and Batu.
Shout
My
out.
message was to all the kids who work for brands. Guys, please sponsor us. Yes, we want some money. Yes, we want some freebies. But the reality is, you guys are spending so much money in certain spaces unnecessarily when we can push your brands. and get kids to actually buy your stuff. That's the whole fucking point. You want a return on money spent.
Man.
So we're here. Let us push your brands. Shout out to Theo Balo and Pat.
Walk the journey. Yo, this part too.
Sorry, Usi, I asked about burning.
So not necessarily go to, let's go and let's burn a library. You know, so let's go back to the criminal that runs a certain industry and shouldn't. Go to his house. Go to his house. Stop going on Twitter. Stop bitching and moaning. Go to the person who's not doing the service, who's meant to be running it. Sort that person out. That's my 2 cents. But again, my point was around land being stolen. As blacks, we say land was stolen. Steal it back. Steal it back.
Like burning was a metaphor for whatever atrocities were committed to you, commit the same atrocities, what you're saying. And if they burn something, burn their shit back. I think that's what you're saying.
That's what I'm trying to say. But
Okay.
what I'm trying to highlight is how much of a bitch we are. You know, Ushaga went and dominated so many clans. Ne? Those clans can sit and bitch and moan, or they can go back and dominate him. But you're too much of a bitch to do that, right? So again, you say Amapunu stole our land. You say Oranya's wrong. Go steal Oranya. See what will happen. Angitwena, you this brave man.
Yeah, but if I do that, and then my fellow black people, and I get arrested, all I'll get is a hashtag.
You're not going to get arrested. You're going to get shot in the head. That's the reality. So again,
People have asked us to cut down on the profanity.
No, sorry. So again,
No, I'm not saying say sorry, but I'm just letting you know.
Okay.
Guys, we do read your comments.
Yeah.
Thank you for the comments. We may not agree. We may not do what you're asking for, but we do read them and we do consider you.
Yeah. So again, you see the villain. Yeah, one. Let's say I'm not a superhero in the movie. I see the villain, and all I do is I tweet. No, go stop the villain. Oh, the villain is killing people. Go kill the villain. You won't, because you're too much of a bitch to do that. That's what I'm trying to say. We have all these bad people in society that are stealing this, that are breaking this, that are corrupt, that are go to them and stop them. You won't. Oh, those people stole our land. Go steal it back.
See, this is your time to shine, bro. If you can maybe give people your age for context, because I'm 37, he's 33.
34.
34. So maths, 3 years, okay. Maybe just give your age and then say what's on your mind in terms of at least the black situation we have and why you had an issue with the thought of burning.
Oh yeah, I just turned 26 3 days ago.
Hey, happy belated birthday.
Belated.
Yeah,
We'll get you
so-
cake. Real cake.
Real cake. Baked
Baked cake.
Oh,
Fuck.
okay. Damn. Yeah.
Stop shaking your head. Stop having a dirty mind.
Disgusting.
I feel like, look, I understand what happened in the past. I read it. I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Right? And like on Penn's point when he was like, yo, let's burn everything. I was like, no, why? You know, how long is it gonna take my people to get us where we are right now if we burn everything? So for me, that's why I'm asking, like, isn't there another way? Because I'm not trying to live that life. I'm not. Like, I don't want to lie.
Like burning shit down
No.
and chaos.
Nah.
And you're trying to find like a smarter, more peaceful,
There has to be.
more Mandela-esque. Let's negotiate it out.
Let's talk about it.
Let's break dance and have a battle.
Imagine someone smacking your mom in the face and you're like, hey, bruh, let's just talk about it. Imagine someone
But this is the gaslighting politicians use.
Someone smacking your girl's booty like publicly.
This is the gaslighting
and then you come through and you're like,
don't buy into it.
Let's talk about it.
Don't buy. This is the gaslighting. He
Let's-
wants you to
let's-
get emotional
let's
so
get
you can react
discourse.
I
emotionally.
get you, but like there has to be. We are here now. We're dealing with people's lives.
People
not-
are benefiting from stolen land all
Sorry.
day, every day.
Which people?
The people that control us, right? Amapunu, Abelungu, or Afriforami, or Stellenbosch. I think they stole the land.
Yeah.
And the Zulu
Ne?
Kingdom.
And they stole the land,
The Zulu
right?
Kingdom stole the land.
Yeah, I think they stole the
The
land.
Zulu Kingdom stole the land.
Sure, Charles.
So there's no change that can happen without chaos. Is that what you're saying?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the blacks are saying, this is what I'm hearing, word in the street, Guti, the land was stolen. Ne? And now the people that stole the land are benefiting from that. Yes? We are living in poverty. They are making money. Steal it back.
I want to make a request. Can we please remove male depression and suicide? We're not going to have enough time.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, we'll just
Which is
speak
a
about
deep
Mother's Day afterwards so that at least
So-
we can flesh this out. The time now, no, let me put it this way. Do you know how long we've been recording for?
41 minutes.
41 minutes. So I'm hoping we can take it to 1 hour.
Okay.
And that should be okay. I think in future we must try and just manage time, because I know we can talk forever.
Yeah. So clearly I'm trying to play devil's advocate here, in the sense of you hear these things. You hear people say, oh, I can't believe that government politician is so corrupt, they steal money. All I'm doing, playing devil's advocate, go steal that money back. And get you Robin Hood, and then go give it to the poor. Because you know, Guti, they took tender money, they stole it, instead of using it for our grannies and our what. Go to that said politician, steal the money back, and you, Robin Hood, give it to our grannies.
But
Robbing
then
the hood.
with that, right?
Yeah.
I feel like black people need a mindset shift. Like, we all know that.
Okay.
Because, like, for instance, we do have representatives in those spaces.
Okay.
Right? But you put me there, you put $1 billion in my pocket, right? Bro, I've been suppressed all my life, right? And you take, it's like a ladder and a trampoline. Like, they both go to the top, but how you get there, it's like a woman, for instance. They get to the top via DM trampoline, right? But I need to, to get there. But now when they get there, it's easy for them to fumble. Like, let's say I'm an air hostess and I'm a woman, right? And I get to Qatar, I get an apartment, I get free flights to go to Milan and everything, But in normal life, I know those things you need to work for, right? I'm here living a ladder life, shooting for you guys every day. That girl's gonna lose that life and come back down straight. But now, even if I lose amped, like,
Yeah.
So my point is that, like, black people need that shift whereby now we're all chasing the soft life and whatever. It's all trampoline movements. But then when we get there, how are we gonna be able to,
I actually love. I'm stealing that trampoline, which as quick as it is to go up, it's just as quick to go down. I love that.
I want to say this. One of the saddest things we have in the country now is a lot of the youth want young leadership. But number one, they're not willing to do what is necessary for young leadership. What that means is you have to vote for young people, and you have to buy from youth-owned businesses. And you have to, whenever people ask about leadership, be like, oh, there's a young person. Like, you have to be intentional. If you're a woman and you want to empower women, you have to buy from female-owned businesses. You have to vote for female leaders. If you are part of the LGBTQI plus community, you have to buy from businesses owned by people in your community. You have to vote for them in leadership positions.
True.
The other side is this. The youth complain a lot, and they're like, yeah, we've got these old pensioners in parliament. And I'm like, how wild is it that you guys are being dominated by old pensioners who come from like Bantu education? It tells me that you're actually not that smart. You
Quite
might be
weak.
qualified, you might have degrees, you might get nice jobs and have a nice debt package of a nice flat and a car, but clearly you're not that smart. The challenge to people like yourself, Sia, and other young people is there should be another way. The answer is there are other ways, but it's up to you guys to come up with the other ways. And they don't have to be completely unique. Study history and find some of the countries where the people didn't kill their colonizers, they didn't burn shit, they were strategic. Because if we do claim that we are smarter, we need to prove it. Some of the ideas I've given people, well, one of the ideas I came up with was the Buy Black movement, which is be intentional about buying from black people. White people cannot oppress you if you're not spending your money with them. They cannot oppress you if you're not working for them. So that's one thing. It's hard, but at least you're not killing anyone. Well, in literal terms. If every black kid who's pro-black stops buying at ShopRite and buys from Mangena supermarket, they're not burning down ShopRite. They're just being like, Sia, we know you don't have bread, but we'll wait. We know you're expensive, but that's intentional fighting.
But now also we go back to supply chain. My problem with Cape Town, right, where I'm from, is like it takes maybe it'll be me giving you money and then it's back to white. Like here about Joburg, we can trade. You can take that money and go trade with Penson or whatever. We all black until it gets to a white.
Be patient. Be patient. The Pakistanis took a long time to take over spaza shops, the Ethiopians, Somalians. And they're still currently selling Tiger Brands, Pioneer Foods, Unilever goods. But over time, now that they've cornered the retail space in the townships, they can easily then take over the wholesalers. Once they've cornered the wholesalers, they can easily start buying into or building their own value chain. All I'm saying is to what you said, look, it'll take long, but I'm just saying it's a better fight than the chaos. Other fights, look, that was just one idea. Other fights is, I've said this before and I've been criticized for it, but you have got beneficiaries of colonization and apartheid being white people, white men. Those white men have got white daughters.
Okay.
Hey, what's happening? They've got white daughters. One of the easiest ways to infiltrate a space and people, except Tumi, welcome, bro. We actually gave you a shout out earlier. Tumi's late. Blacks.
Gang late.
Blacks.
Gang late.
No, I'm kidding. I think he was doing something for his mom. But
Can you just take a picture, please? Sure.
This is going to sound, it sounds bad, but I don't mean it as a bad thing. I'm saying the white girls have access to their father's resources. So black guys need to learn good English, relax their hair, get a comb over. What's up, bro? You know?
brother?
Try that life.
Get it? Now, well, you didn't try it hard enough. Get into those spaces and, you know, genuinely date white girls, genuinely. Like, do it out of, like, love, but understanding that you're doing it for an agenda. Find a girl that you like, that you love, that is great, whose father is maybe well off, and have kids with her. Create like a little Trevor Noah, Drake,
There's some foreigners
Alicia
that
Keys.
there's some foreigners that do that come
There are
South Africa.
There are
and they-
Nigerians. I'll speak about Nigerians. There are Nigerian men who come to South Africa, try to start business, struggle, and they are intentional. They're not raping the girls. They find a beautiful South African girl they like, and they intentionally date her. They intentionally marry her. They intentionally have children with her. The woman has a South African ID. His children are going to have a South African ID and probably a Nigerian passport as well. And they now have access to tenders. They now have access to grants. They now have access to South African funding. That's intentional. They didn't fight and kill anyone.
That's survival.
No, it's not survival.
Not survival.
It's not survival. Your question was, are there other ways? I just gave you 2 examples. And all I'm saying
He's
is
fighting them.
It's up to, no, look, when you're a victim, it's always easy to gravitate towards excuses. And this is not to Usia. It's to everyone. No, but you guys must get generators. Where must we get money from generators for? Well, go try and help. Yeah, but
There's no jobs. Giving a problem to every
People
solution.
that are perpetual losers and victims have a problem for every
Are
solution.
you saying Usia is a perpetual loser?
No, he's
and
a
victim?
representative of real people out there.
He's a representative of losers and
Usia's
victims.
privileged, bro. Like, guys,
Sorry?
we can say whatever we want. Usia's privileged.
Why?
He lives in arguably the greatest city on the African continent, one of the top cities in the world.
Do
He
you
gets
know-
to do amazing work. He doesn't have to work in a mine shaft. He doesn't have to wake up at 4 a.m. and catch 5 trains.
But I work for this privilege. It's not like I always had it. I work for it.
We're sorry, Jonathan.
No, I work for it.
We're sorry, Jonathan, that you and your white father had to work hard.
I never always had it. I had to get into a 400
let me
rand
finish
bus
my
to come
point
to
and
Joe.
speak on that because this is very important. Young people need to find innovative ways to access the land, access resources. Part of it, to be fully honest, is just pushing hard at school. Get a good qualification and you'll get to work for a nice company and earn 80,000 rand a month. And then you can buy yourself a piece of land and buy yourself. And all of a sudden you're like, guys, I've got 10 hectares of land. I live in a nice house. I send my kids. That's the dream, right? Whether we do it through killing people, burning stuff. Ultimately, let's assume black people fully ran the country and white people left. Ultimately, your plan is to have land, send your kids to good schools, and you can do that through a good education. So you're already fighting in a different way. So the challenge is to you guys to do that. On the argument of privilege.
Did you not sound like one of those white people?
That's what I'm saying.
We work hard for
Privilege.
No. We work hard for this. My father worked hard for.
Lost sweetie.
You can tell sweet.
Hit Mangena. Hit.
So let's say now, you guys were talking about long jobs now.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden you have an inverter. Can't you own that life now?
What?
Who?
No, I'm saying like Upen.
Penson is not an oppressed black person. I need you to understand.
Come on.
He is the opposite. He's a rich white
Currently,
man.
Not currently.
Currently.
Yeah, he hasn't been always living that life. Right?
100%.
Yeah.
Exactly. Same applies with me. I haven't been always been here.
Yeah.
I knew nothing about camera,
Yeah.
right? and I worked, and I put
Yeah.
6 months into working and learning on YouTube.
Six months.
Yeah, straight.
How long do you think it took white people to come with ships from Europe and to come and build this country we have?
I mean, it
Considering all the atrocities they committed,
it took them a while, obviously.
and they put in work.
They did.
Part of the work is maybe killing and oppressing,
Yes,
and it wasn't 6 months. It's maybe 6 generations
I get it.
of graft, and they lost people.
I had this chat. I had this chat with this one lady. She was complaining about the patriarch. And I was like, Sissy.
Patriarchy.
Yeah. I was like, Sissy, what do you mean? I was like, what you want is the people that have built the shit to give you a bit of their power for free. It's the same thing with Abelungu, right? Ne? Abelungu
You're
come
speaking
through.
male versus female.
Yeah. So
She wants men to just
yeah.
hand over to women.
So we want, ne? We want
Who's we?
the black South Africans.
Not we. Say black, the poor black South African masses.
South African, black South
We have
Africans.
to be intentional about our
Black-
words
black-
because we're
black South
fucking.
Africans.
We're not in that bracket.
Black South Africans want Amapunu created Eskom for themselves. We want a bit of Eskom. No, it's theirs. They created ISCO. They created fucking the post. They created all these things for themselves. Yet we have the arrogance of wanting. That's no difference from a slave queen, ne, that's dating this rich nigga that is entitled to the rich nigga's money. You know, and then she has the audacity to say, I made you. Remember when Colby was divorcing his wife? What did Rick Ross say?
Bitch, you wasn't with me shooting in the gym.
Huh? Like, fucking think about that. She wanted half the shit. You made this kid multi-millionaire. He's already signed. He's already good. His grandkids already good. And yet you have the audacity to be entitled to half the shit. So us, we understand it from a male-female thing, né? But then when we go black and white, we have this dissonance. We get, the fuck is... No, they built it for them, bro.
Privilege is earned.
You know.
Whether it is earned legally, morally, or through atrocity, it is earned. Whether it's 6 months, 6 generations. And until the black masses understand, this is the burning story. This is that burning thing. It's like, understand what European colonizers, understand what they did to get to their privilege, and you must be willing to do that. And if you're not, you don't deserve what they have.
True.
But there are other ways,
Yeah,
which
but
I told
we
you.
don't want to learn skills here.
Then
Like
what is that?
No, like
They,
the
because you have skills, you've said, you've learned.
They, right?
We like bunching ourselves with
okay.
the poor black masses
Do we-
when we're privileged.
As black people, I'm black, right? As black people, do you think we have, like black South Africans, do you think we have anything to offer the world?
Sorry, before I answer that, are we
Yeah.
going to get time to speak about our moms? How long have we been recording for?
54.
54 minutes. Are we going to go till 1 hour 10? 1 hour 15?
That's
Because
cool.
you
We,
fuckers talk a lot.
we can give cheap labor.
Before I
that's what we have
answer,
anything
before I
to
answer
offer the
you, I'd
world.
like to ask,
Clean my
please,
toilet.
Besides the goals that have been stolen, because they're not ours anymore.
No, Kunduchan.
sorry, can Tumi please give a shout out, bro? Please, if he can just introduce himself, how old he is, where he's from, and then maybe like a small message for his mom.
Hi guys, Tumi here. Tumi loga Biyela.
They'll send us their pictures. We'll post them on our socials, and maybe at some point they'll
Goodness
come.
gracious.
They'll actually come on camera and just wave before the episode is over.
Tumi loga Biyela, guys. I'm 20. How old? 22.
Oh, you guys are children.
Yeah, 22.
And hi mom, hope you see me. Bye.
Where are you from, Tooms?
From a lot of places, but right now currently in the west of Johannesburg, being Rhodoport, but I'm
Sure.
from Orlando, Soweto.
That's
Orlando
dope.
East.
Thank you.
Nice.
Sorry, Sia, you never got a chance to say where you're from. Because we're introducing you guys to the world.
I'm from Gwalanga, in Cape Town.
Sure. Thank you. Langa's actually
I
my
fly
first
in
concert
every
fan.
day to come shoot you.
Such poverty.
Oh, so poor.
Watch out for these Cape Town boys. They're liars.
The liars.
Liars. Anyways, they'll come and
Xhosa guys.
give like a little wave, or maybe like when the episode or before the episode ends, we're gonna let them come and chill for like 5 minutes. I think for them to kind of chat and whatever. To answer your question was what? This question
Can I
actually
repeat
said
it?
I said it to some ladies. I think one of them was my sister, and it's a topic all on its own, and it's one of those controversial things. So the first controversial thing I was dragged for was The land was not stolen, we were conquered. People are still not ready for that. Another one is this thing of privilege is earned. No, but the whites, you're like, well, if they stole, then go steal. And then you'll earn. Because Ushaka Zulu also earned the right to build a powerful Zulu kingdom. This one now is also very touching, which is black South African men are probably at the bottom of the food chain in the whole world when it comes to all men. I'm including black men from Malawi, Mozambique, the Congo, Nigeria, Bangladeshis, Pakistanis, Somalians, Mexicans, Argentines, men from Uruguay, Spain, like...
Says Zwile Pela.
Who?
Hey, Nanguputi. I'm including Amachita. I say, no way. I'm an Eskimo. I say Fiji.
We currently do not have a unique selling proposition. When the Chinese are moving into town, we have ideas of, oh, the Chinese people have moved in. When the Israeli Jews have moved into town, like, oh, when the Afrikaners have moved in, when the British are moving into town, when the Americans are coming in. Today, even when the Nigerians are, like, you have an idea. With black South African men, if you travel the world and you bump into them, you honestly have no idea. Genuinely have no idea, why are you here? I don't really know. If you meet a South African, you're like, oh shit, you're probably doing a mapiano here. Like, how did you know? You're like, that's what we're known for. Or you're probably is the Lion King in town? Hey dog, how did you know? Because I know that's what we export. We export Sarafina, the Lion King, Amapiano, or DJs, maybe stand-up comedians. We have not found an identity, and this also goes to the women, but more particularly the men. We have not found an identity of what we export.
As export, I must like win.
Our soccer, and I was speaking about the men, and we don't export them. The women take initiative. No, Gali. Shout out to those women. Shout out, shit, I have to say this. Shout out to all the black South African women who are brave enough to venture into new worlds on their own. Whether it's teaching English in a foreign country, whether it's slaying. I mean, you'll judge women for slaying, but they got a free ticket to go to a foreign country to learn things. There are guys who have opportunities, but they don't do it.
They're not there to learn,
They're going to learn.
They're not there
guys,
to learn.
Slay Queen are going to learn.
We'll
That's
speak about this on another day.
Okay.
I've met slay queens who have taken their pussy game to another level where today they run businesses.
No, but I've met men with 11 fingers. That's not the general slay queen.
No, I'm not worried about the general slay queen.
That's what we're talking about right here.
No,
the
I understand that. I was giving a shout out to girls that are doing amazing work. And when I made the example, I'm not making an example to girls who are useless. That's what I'm trying to say.
You're talking about the golden vagina ones.
No, I was just saying. Anyways, going on a tangent.
Yeah, going on a tangent. Sorry. Exports.
Our soccer is not great. Our rugby, as black South African men, we can speak about Siakolisi, Lucanyo, Makazole, Mapimpi. Our rugby is not great as a collective. Our music as a collective. We can mention Black Coffee and whoever here, but we're not there. From a business acumen, we haven't even started playing. We don't even know what the game is. You can't say, yeah, but there are these 10 black South African men who have built amazing. We don't have. Even Patrice's business was half inherited. He didn't build it from scratch. You know, he's done an amazing job with it, but, you know, we can't say we have $1 billion business that was built by a black South African, just one. So we're not even in the game. So we're not tall, we're not muscular and athletic. We don't have like supreme genetics. We're not amazing academically. We're not writing life-changing books. We're not creating production like a Tyler Perry. We don't have like 50 Tyler Perry. We have not found our identity. Yes, there's going to be a few guys that pop here and there, and that's great, but we haven't found that. So there is a challenge because the black South African man is currently swimming in victimhood, and it's gotten worse because we used to blame the white man. Now we blame the black woman. That's how pathetic we've dropped. When we're struggling, we're like, yeah, it's because black women are, yeah, it's because these black women, yeah, that's why I love Kevin Samuels. Like, bro, you lost to the white man. He defeated you. You didn't even try to fight, and now you found a new excuse. Before the black woman, it was like the foreign African men. Yeah, the Mozambicans are stealing our jobs. The Zimbabweans, like, yo, when are every man, the Bangladesh, oh my friend, when are clearly there's no man that can't come into your space and dominate. There is no man on earth that can't come into South Africa and take a black woman and build a business and take your, like, it's absolutely embarrassing. And it's a wake-up call to black South African gents to be like, I will wake up today and this is now Jordan Peterson, I will wake up today and I will do push-ups. Because at the end of the day, like, if you can't build anything, at least build your body.
Have you been following the what's it called? MGTOW movement?
What's that?
Which I also don't like these acronyms because they make us seem talalas. Men going their own way. MGTOW.
No, I haven't heard of it.
So it's that whole thing of Jordan Peterson. I need to be like to blame women. Just a quick summary. So again, with these acronyms or whatever, these boxes, I hate them because it makes us seem like talala. Blue pill, red pill. Ne? Blue pill, you live that illusion of the world is roses, beautiful, tomorrow's going to be a better day. Red pill, the reality. Government is corrupt. There are bad women that are trying to chow your money.
Everything is your fault.
Yeah, one. So, okay.
Red pill is everything is your fault.
MGTOW is then purple pill in the sense of I've already taken the red pill. I know what fuck life is about, ne? But let me just focus on myself, and la 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 la. So they are exactly what you're trying to say, focusing on me. Stop blaming the woman, Stop when you get married and then you get fucked in the divorce, ne? And your kids get taken away from you. Stop blaming the system. You knew exactly what's about to happen before you said I do. Before you bust a nut in her, you knew, Uguti, if shit hits the fan, the legal system is not on your side. Yet you did that. Now you got to blame the legal system. Now you got to blame the woman. Now you got to, no, be on your way, dog. Focus on you. And when you think about that movement, it has a lot of stoicism within that. Guys who are stoic and saying, Guti, nah, fam, if I need a woman in my life, I just need her as an ejaculation hole.
Jeez.
I can come through and get intimacy in different ways. If I need the government, it's only because I'm trying to press here, and then I'm moving. If I need Amapunu for whatever, I need them for that bit of land I rent, I get this, I get that, I get the maize, and I move. But it's just men going their own way. And it's that movement that I think linked to a Jordan Peterson.
Yeah.
Would stop blaming everyone else. Stop blaming the legal system that you can't see your kids. You knew that before you bust a nut. Stop blaming the fact that she wants half your shit because you knew.
Why are you triggering me?
Before. You knew she's going to take your shit should shit go left. You knew that. You saw the weave. You saw the nails. You saw the booty. You saw she had all the traits of a slay queen. You found out, Tuguti, she's on double-digit body counts and she's not even 21. You saw these things. You knew these things. Yet you still went there. And then you get triggered. Oh, shit, she's a slay queen.
Guys didn't know. I have to defend men. Guys didn't know. It's because we didn't have mentors. And we're only learning through pain.
Okay.
And that's why we have to speak up. To actually let them know, guys, be careful. Because if she's dressed in a whole uniform, chances are she's a hoe.
Yeah,
just assume the worst.
Perfect.
So, yeah.
So he goes and he speaks about Guti. A lot of the guys that are following this movement are guys in their 30s, 40s, and whatever who have learned through burning. Yeah. So again, now that you've gone through it, it is you who needs to circle back and say, shit, now that I'm in it, this is how I need to get out of it. Yeah, one. Instead of playing victim of, I didn't know. And yes, okay, sharp, you didn't know. But now you're here. Now let's try and figure out a way around it.
Except Pinson and I are very passionate about young boy and young man development. So if you guys can put groups together, give us some petrol money, we'd like to come through and I guess mentor you, I think is what it's called. But more than anything, just share our experiences because a lot of you guys don't have older brothers. You don't have present fathers. And we can warn you about certain things. And more than anything, the mindset of a man. Yeah. But yeah, to finish the point, I'd like you guys to come through. But to finish the point, I want to finish the point. I want us to give a shout out to our mothers. And then I'd like you guys to come through for 5 minutes. If you can't build anything else as a young black South African man, the least you can do is build your body. That means push-ups, squats, calf raises every day, run, jog, walk. But at least if you're like, South African men ain't shit, you're like, yeah, at least I'm working on my body. After your body, work on your mind. You have the ability to read books. You have the ability to follow social media accounts that are educational. At the lowest level, watch Joe Rogan, watch The Penal Show, of course, watch Lex Friedman.
Watch Penson, The Journey.
You don't even need to be smart, but just listening to those guys will just do something to your mind. That's your mind and your body. If you're a spiritual guy, go to church. Go to church, bro, and just listen. Read your Bible, your Quran, whatever. And then the money one is probably the bigger one, which is problematic. Go out of your way. Go out of your way to go and meet people that have money. And when you get there, ask them questions. Besides asking questions, just figure out how they're making money and then make sure you're adding value to their lives. Add some value to their, hopefully they'll pay you if they don't volunteer, so that you can learn how to make money.
The easiest way is employment.
Do you guys
Yeah,
think?
employment is tough.
Do you guys think semen retention is important in one of those things that you mentioned?
This male conversation we need to park for
yeah,
next
we need
time.
to park it.
But
But just 2 seconds.
no,
The
2
employment
seconds.
one.
No 2 seconds.
I think you
No
spoke
2
about the
seconds.
reading.
Let me finish my point.
Continue the reading.
Let me finish my point.
In an educational
My
space.
point was just this. We've got a world with so many opportunities.
Yeah.
And for the young black South African men, I've given body, mind, spirit, money. There are other aspects. Because we can say, okay, maybe I'll use sports, or just work on yourself every day.
Fact.
And if all of us begin in our own ways, working on ourselves every single day, eventually something better will happen. And more than anything, forget black. It's my request. Forget I'm a black South African man. Go to groups that are winning. White Afrikaans men, the Muslims, the Chinese. Go spend time with them because you're like, I want to win. And that should just change your mind on its own. You can get your 2 seconds. I'm done.
No, Machida must come through.
Yes, they will. But you wanted 2 seconds for employment?
No,
Employment.
I was just saying, like, if because
Volunteerism before employment is why I was saying no.
I love that. I think sometimes access to might be of a challenge. You know, that's why when you spoke about working on your body, you spoke about things that they can do, things like push-ups, squats there. Whereas access to a gym might be, because there might be challenges. And once a person starts reading or starts maybe having access to internet, Joe Rogan, the Penal Show, Penson, The Journey, guys, start learning or start improving yourself from an academic point. Bakono, NASFAS and things like that will open up doors to get into a university, because I believe that education is the easiest way to get a job. So now you've got masters in accounts or whatever the case may be. I think that's the easiest way to get from poverty to at least middle class. Ideally, yes, we all want to run these billion-dollar companies, but if you're looking for a path of least resistance, I believe, Guti, that is easier than you starting $1 million company. I might be wrong. Someone who's
There is
smarter.
no expiry date on education.
Yeah.
I'm 37. I must never be so embarrassed that I can't go back and redo my matric and improve my marks.
Yeah.
You guys don't understand. We speak about it, but you don't get it. The matric certificate is like a key to a door.
Yeah.
And if you didn't get it the first time around, who the fuck cares? Go back and redo your maths and get 85% and apply yourself. Do it 3 times. Who the fuck cares? Go and redo your science or pick up science. Once you've got a distinction in maths, a distinction in science, you will then get bursaries. And you can then go and study like a high-paying qualification. But we live in the age of technology. Go learn how to code Java, Python.
Pegasus.
Anyways, this is why I think we want to spend time with young people, because we've got some of these things that maybe you may not know. Because a lot of the time, sometimes we assume, like the bucket toilet. We assume, but I actually didn't know, bro. I didn't know that if a girl looks like this, she will break my heart. Thank you for warning me. Shout out to mothers.
Yeah.
We will speak about male depression and suicide the next time, because it's a very important topic. And I think it touches on things like your semen retention, stoicism, the red pill nation, masculinity.
Shout out
Mother's Day. Shout out to the old ladies.
Guys, we've
Shout
got
out to
5
all.
minutes.
We've got 5 minutes left of space.
Yeah. Guys, just jump in while we do shout out for moms.
Will you guys? Yeah.
Yeah, guys must
Okay.
jump in. So yeah, just shout out, my opinion, to mothers. When I say mothers, give me, I'm looking at women who are guardians of.
What are you doing?
Oh my word, jeez.
Intwana ihloniphi. It says intwana. Asihloniphi man. Sack.
Manu Tumi, it's coming through.
It says 36.
36.
Tumi, please come through and greet, bro.
So women who have pushed out, who have been cut open, who are looking after.
Why did you bring your mic?
Am I not going to say anything?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's another one.
Oh gosh, Tumi.
Destroying the set.
Oh wow. What's happening?
Please give a shout out to mothers, bro. Each of us want to give a shout out to mothers so that these fucking young O's can go back to wherever they came from.
So, Dansile, Alina, Amin, Laukhona nje siyakuthanda. And having to deal with me, I know that has been nothing but a headache. Supporting me my whole life, supporting me today, still. Yakuthanda Makoko. Ukule man, ukule, so that you can see my grandkids, But yeah, we're right. Can't wait to spend some time with you today. Sure.
Oh, hi, Ma. It's been a while since we spoke, but yeah, we spoke today. Anzoba corner to spend this day with you, because I'm in another city. But I hope you enjoy your day.
Hi guys. Hi mom. Hope right. Hope your day is going well. Yeah. Happy Mother's Day, and I hope you have an amazing day. Won't be with you again also, but yeah. Hope you have a kick-ass day, and I'll see you when I can.
Also, Penson, don't you guys have sugar mama?
Shout out to all my sugar moms. Ngedlala.
These boys must go. So we update.
But yeah, guys, look.
Get out of here.
One of the things that I say that touches people, because I've got 3 beautiful boys, and people are like, what did you do for their mother? That's not my mother. It's not my mother. So my boy's mother is not my mother. So the onus is not me who needs to do shit for her. It's her kids that she pushed out. They need to do something for her. So at school, those cards and those glitter things, that's on them. It's their mama.
Yeah, let's shut down the episode. Mom C, we love you very much. We appreciate you. Mother's Day is a capitalist setup so that businesses can make money. I think a lot of us kind of know that.
Swana.
But if you haven't done anything for your mom because you're kind of useless, at least there's one day in the year where you can do something. Take her out, send her a bit of money, maybe give her a call, appreciate her and thank her. And don't make it like whack and fake. Be genuine. Be like, yo, mama, you know, for all the things you did for me, primary school, high school, tertiary, for the support you give me, ngiyakubonga. To all the mothers who are not present in their children's lives, to all the mothers who are horrible, toxic mothers, to all the mothers who, for whatever weird reason, have just failed their kids, this day is not for you. So please don't try and take the shine of a day that's not for you. In the same way, we don't want what you women do on Father's Day and wish yourselves happy Father's Day. This is not a day for fathers or for men or
it's
people
not.
with penises. So
No. If you've got a penis, screw you.
we appreciate our mothers. We love you guys very much, man. We'll see if we can spoil you, not just today, but on other days.
Yeah.
And more than anything, man, we need to keep empowering our mothers. You know, life is a constant journey. So whatever we learn, whatever we engage, we can give back to you. I'm going to make maybe videos about this later on. I know my children, my 6 children's mothers, 4 mothers are not my mom. But because my kids are still young and kind of useless, I try to assist the kids. The least you can do is give the kids a little bit of money or try and guide them to be like, oh, do this for your mother. It's not my mother. But from my side to the mothers of my children, I know I have struggles with some of you, but it's life. I understand this. We're human. You guys are also having a human experience like me. But I love you guys very much, and I thank you for the 6 amazing children that I have. Aan al die ma's in Suid-Afrika, ons is baie lief vir julle. Siyanthanda kakhulu, and we hope you'll have an amazing
Shout out, mommies.
Mother's Day. Pen and pen. We out.
Cheers, guys.